Hey, this is Trish, and since today is Monday, I want to talk a little bit about music. Earlier today, I shared on Facebook a video of a singer in Armenia who was singing an operatic song. I won't say aria, but an operatic song on the Armenian version of The Voice. The aria she was singing was the diva dance from The Fifth Element. It's a movie that came out a long time ago. I saw it in the movie theaters. I don't know why. It was very strange, but it was very cool. It's had Bruce Willis in it. And so I was really surprised watching this science fiction space movie, and suddenly there's opera in the middle of it. Now, this aria became really famous amongst the masses because there's the techno dance part of the aria that was added onto it. The aria itself actually comes from an opera called Lucia di Lammermoor, and the aria is Il dolce suono mi colpi, if I remember the entire title correctly. And it's a beautiful aria. And then the techno dance goes into all of this really high-pitched stuff, which I loved because I was a coloratura soprano. And at the time, I could hit those notes at the time. And I just thought this was amazing that here you have a woman singing opera on a TV reality show, and that you just don't get that here in the United States. On shows like The Voice here in the United States, you're only going to see people who are into, country music, pop music, pop music, pop music. There isn't a whole lot of variety. Maybe sometimes there is some blues, but then once they get picked, I've noticed that once these people get picked to be on the show, they get homogenized into the whatever their coaches can do. That's one of the things that, especially the first season of The Voice, if you notice the singers that the coaches picked were like almost mini-me's of the coaches themselves. And this doesn't do great things for music here in America when the only kind of talent that's chosen to be on these types of shows are people that are looking for, even if they don't fit the cookie cutter standard now, they are funneled through that prefabricated, sampled, auto-tuned, cookie cutter image before quality or talent type of music that is what the music business is today. I would love to see an opera singer be picked, or a Broadway musical theater singer be picked to be on The Voice and then allowed to sing their style of music rather than forcing them to sing pop music. Pop music is not hard. Pop music is easy. That's why so many people do it. You don't have to have a lot of talent to sing pop music. There isn't a whole lot to do to it nowadays, especially. Maybe even 20 years ago, pop music, because pop stands for popular. 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, popular music was very different from what you have nowadays. In popular music, you could have an operatic aria on the Billboard Top 40 or in the top 20, top 10. You could have all sorts of kinds of music. Nowadays, it's all so homogenized. And it just kind of reminded me of the stories that I've heard about Queen releasing Bohemian Rhapsody, which is like 7 minutes long, 7 minutes long. And radio people refused to play it because it was so long and they wanted Queen to cut it. Freddie Mercury refused to cut. Can you imagine Bohemian Rhapsody being cut down to fit into a 3-minute or 3.5-minute time slot? How would you cut that? Where? What would you take out? How could you do that to Bohemian Rhapsody? But the people who run the music industry, they're not thinking of art, and they're not thinking of artistry. They're only thinking about commercial dollars. That's where the music industry is. It's where it's been for a very, very long time. Even 50, 60 years ago, of course, they were still interested in what made money, but at least you had to be talented. Nowadays, not so much. Not when everything seems to be shoehorned into a very, very narrow idea of what is commercially successful. I would love to see an opera singer. I would love to see a Broadway singer. I would love to see a great jazz singer be able to make it in their style on one of these shows. Because it happens in Britain, it happens in Australia, it happens on these reality TV shows, it happens in other countries. It does not happen in the United States. So unless you're, I don't know, willing to sacrifice the music that you love to sing, what's the point of going on these shows? I don't know. It's just, it's also a very sad state for music in America. We just need to support our artists, and we need to support different styles of music. Not everybody likes opera, but then not everybody likes jazz. Not everybody likes blues. Not everybody likes country. Not everybody likes everything, and that's okay. We need diversity. But in mainstream music here in the United States, we do not have diversity. And other styles of music, like country, have become so mainstream pop, you can't tell them apart. I'm sure you've seen that video where it took 6 #1 country hits, and it kind of did this composite tracking of these songs, and you could see there was really not much difference in the songs, in the melody, even in some of the lyrics, the intros, the outros, the bridge, they were practically identical. And that's what we have now. Music is just a formula. So, sad state of affairs. But this is why we speak out, and this is why real musicians like myself do what we do. And I'm very grateful. Tomorrow I have a gig, and Saturday I have a gig, and I'm very grateful for all of that. And I'm very grateful for people who come out and listen and support live music. Like tomorrow I'm singing Broadway and jazz, and then Saturday I'm singing good old Irish rebel music. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, so just thoughts for today on music, and how we really need to boost the kind of music that is in the national consciousness, because American music is so diverse, and that diversity is not being seen on the charts, and it's not being seen on these TV shows. So stand up, speak out, be heard, and let's show them. You know, a lot of different styles of music, and they all deserve to be heard. Okay, this is my rant for today. Music on the brain. All right, I love y'all. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.